Hi guys, welcome back to the Baird Homestead here in Nova Scotia. This video is going to be a mixed bag of us making maple syrup. You can currently just see two of the big maple trees up there on the top end of the property. Some of you are familiar with our homestead from previous Mako videos, and some of you won't be. So what we do here is we try to live as self-reliant as we can. So we have a rather large garden which is dormant at the moment, and there's our male turkey. He always likes to be centre of attention. And there is the other maple tree. So we tap 3 large maple trees and some smaller ones that we have all on our own property. Our winter went well. We did have some losses. Sadly, we lost my old rooster, who somehow got in with the turkeys, and they're very unforgiving to strangers in their pen. So he was sadly killed. We also lost my 2 female guinea fowl to a bobcat over the winter. And then about 4 weeks ago, our house raised guinea fowls that were very humanised and used to come for walks with us and used to help us do the gardening and all of that sort of stuff. They were sadly killed by a weasel. We believe it was a weasel. So we're still getting used to them guys not being around. But on a good note, I can just try and scoot you over. Our 2 beehives survived the winter, so that's really good, and we're hoping that we'll get a honey crop this fall from them. So yeah, the video is just a mixed bag of a catch-up, a homestead catch-up, and also of us making our maple syrup. So I hope you enjoy. Hey guys, it's another nice morning here. I'm just out to go and do the morning feed for my birds. The roosters are very noisy, they're hungry. We'll go and sort that out in a minute. I just wanted to give you a little look at our fire setup here while it's not lit. I know in the later piece of footage you'll see it all lit and going with our maple trays on there. But I'll give you a little bit of you can see it a lot easier when the fire is out. So some people do big elaborate setups, some people have shacks, some people just do simple fires just like we do. It works for us on our homestead. We try and do things with material that we find around. The grate was found in the forest. We did have to buy the cinder blocks, but they weren't very expensive, and obviously the wood there that we use, so we just simply light a fire underneath the grate in there, and when that fire is going really well, we put our trays on, which we'll see later on, and we just carry on boiling down. We just keep the fire going at all times, and we can even cook our dinner on here as well, which is another good thing we can do. We're not using electric in the house, we can cook on here. So I shall leave it there. And there's my guys over there saying they want their breakfast, and I will see you later. Okay guys, this is our maple syrup boiling setup, and I'll just walk you around. It's just a simple structure made out of cinder blocks, and we have 2 pans on the top there. They're deep and wide, and as you can see we have the sap in there. I've only just put that in there, so that'll take a little while to start boiling. And then if I just move you down, obviously you can see that we have the fire underneath. Which boils up the sap. The fire has to be kept on going all the time, so it's kind of a full-time job for whoever's doing this. And we also have to keep topping the sap up too. So we're a little while later now, and as you can see it's nice and hot. I can barely get close to this at all. The sap has actually just started to come to a boil. So all we need to do now is keep that topped up and keep the fire topped up as long as we can go. Keep adding the sap, and then we will be getting to the next stage. Hi guys, this is the final stage of making the syrup. Once it's been on the boiler outside and it becomes a light amber colour, it's time to come in to boil down for the final stage. And what we're actually looking for on our candy thermometer is it between 100 and 104 degrees Celsius. We work in Celsius and not Fahrenheit. The other telltale sign is it has a rapid boil, which you can see, and it just smells wonderful. So we're almost ready to put it through the final filter, and when we're doing that we will come back to you. Okay, so we're at our homemade stand here with our pre-filter and our thick maple syrup filter. This takes all the sand out. And I'm just going to pour it slowly through, and this is why you have to be really, really careful because this is molten hot. And it will come through and start dripping in the pan at the bottom. Let's get the last little bit. There you go. You can just see it starting to come through there at the bottom. And that is still really, really hot. So we have to wait for it to go through the filter and then it's ready to bottle. So there is our final syrup. This is just a small little batch. Our weather is a little uncooperative right now. It's kind of not good for sap flow. So I'm going to try and do this with one hand, but all we do is we have our sterilised jars. And we pour it through a funnel until we get almost to the top. And you have to excuse me because I am doing it one-handed. And we just move the funnel to the next one, which will be here. And we go back to him, and we want to top it up, not so it's right full to the top, but there's a little bit of a space, so that's he's done. And we just move on to the next one, and you can see that's nice and thick. Carry on until he's almost to the top, and then we move the funnel over to the next one, and I think you get the drift. But there you have the final product. 2019 maple syrup. And just to prove to you guys that I do cook supper on the fire, we are boiling some sap. We have some hot water on there, and I'll zoom in, and we have a nice chicken curry cooking away. So there you go, supper. Hey guys, we're just going to head off down to our maple trees. One of the first things that we need to make sure of when we're tapping our maple trees, and while I'm talking I'll just move the camera around so you're just not looking at the same old thing, is that they're actually maple trees you're going to tap. That may sound really, really stupid, but in the early spring all trees have no leaves, obviously apart from the evergreens, and so it's really hard to tell which are maples, which are beech, which are birch, so on and so forth. And then the next thing that we have to look for is when the temperature is below freezing at night but rises to around +3, 4, 5 in the daytime, and then you should get a sap run. So we will meet you back down there. So we're down here at the maple trees, and we have one bottle on this tree already. If for every 10 inches you can put a bottle on, this one's way more than 20, so it will hold 2. So what is the drill bit that you use?
8 mil.
It's an 8 mil drill bit, and we will drill into the tree at a slight angle. into the tree?
About 3 inches.
So you go about 3 inches into the tree. And straight away this tree is actually running. That's a really good spot. You can just see the little hole there. And it's dripping quite nicely. So we use a copper pipe and we just basically hammer it into the hole in the tree until a little bit of black tape there, and then you can see the sap's already coming out the end. Let it run a little bit just to get all little wood fragments that might be in there. And then we have, it's just a water bottle with its lid on, and we put a hole in the side. Obviously that's where the little spout's going to go. And we put a nail above where the spout is. And just going to attach that now. And we attach that in there, and the handle fits over the nail. And we're good to go. All we have to do now is wait for this to fill up, and it's already dripping nicely in the bottle. And there you go. That's how you tap your maple trees. So aside from the maple syrup segments of this video that I have put together, I know a lot of you guys like to see how we're getting on the homestead, and it's quite over winter, so there isn't really that much going on, and I'm trying to get pet. You leave me alone, naughty girl. So at this time of year we are getting our breeding groups of birds together. Obviously we produce our own meat birds, and there's beautiful Monty. He is he was going to be going to the freezer, but then my daughter kind of liked him too much, so he stayed, and he's part of my breeding flock. And these are all the bigger girls in here. And we have a lady on the nest over there too. And I'll zip next door and show you the other guys. And here we have the smaller hens with their rooster. And the rooster in here is called Bob. Most of the roosters on our property, and probably 3/4 of the hens, are all personally named. And so they're all in here and they're enjoying their breakfast, which is kitchen scraps. And they're happy about that. And I haven't fed the roosters outside yet. You can hear them crowing in the background. So I shall say goodbye and I shall go and feed the roos. These are my Lavender Orpingtons. You have seen those, but many months ago. Actually, I think they were a little bit smaller. These are my speciality birds. We are currently collecting the eggs from these to hatch and to sell. And there's a good hen in the nest right there. They are they're not rare, but they are a bird that lots of people would like to have. Obviously you don't want to let too many go, because then, you know, competition and all of that. But they're nice, they're friendly, they're big birds. And they're nice to look at. Say bye. So last year my daughter found a rabbit that had been dumped or had escaped its home down the road. There she is, that's Mummy Rabbit. And Mummy Rabbit went on to produce some baby rabbits, and they're actually meat breed rabbits, so we decided to keep them for that purpose. These are now our breeding stock. So these are our females in here, and obviously Mummy Rabbit. Now just swing you around here, because we have our male. I'll just shut the cage behind me because they have a tendency to hop out, excuse me. And I'll just open the cage. So So this is Spud, and he's our male meat rabbit. So in about 4 weeks' time, we will be letting nature take its course with those guys and guy and girls, and hopefully we shall have some meat rabbits over the summer.